What's up, guys? I'm your host, Brendan, aka Sack Up Panda, and wow, can't even talk right now. Today is our very first Tales, ladies and gentlemen. Um, and what better way to walk off this series, because this is a series that I've been actually kind of wanting to do for a little while now. But the best way to start this off is to actually talk about, first of all, what even is this goddamn series? So, a while back, guys, if you know, if you may not know, I work at a church as kind of like what they call a sexton. Put words here, sexton, um, also known as like a janitor, pretty much, and janitor slash security. A whole bunch of randomness, but I'm pretty much a janitor, and I look at it as I work in the service industry. I work for people who don't pick up after themselves, so I'm there. I gotta pick up after them. Does that make sense? All right, cool. So I kind of I started acquiring all these really crazy stories from working kind of behind the scenes on a lot of shit. Like janitors were behind the scenes, right? And the funny thing is, we'll accumulate all these stories, and it's actually kind of like a little micro community where, like, if you see another janitor and you're like, remember that you ever had this issue with these people? And they're like, oh yeah, I totally got that issue. And you're like, oh, bet we have our own little secret community of stories that we share back and forth. And so I decided to take some of my stories and share them with all of y'all, as well as I'm really looking forward into getting other people's stories because I know being a janitor is only one part of the service industry, and there's tons of stories out there that can be had. Um, but we're gonna start it off today with the very first tale, and that is of what I'm calling Training Day, but is more it's actually more commonly known as the first day on the job. Well, in my version of Training Day, uh, not to be confused with the movie with Denzel Washington, uh, but my first day working as a janitor was literally crap. And so it's understand this, guys. Most janitors are older. They've had this job for a long time because they understand the beauty that comes with having this job. Sometimes there is actual beauty to having this job. And I'll get to that later in the series, and I'll probably even talk about it a little bit in this tale as well. But um, a lot of them are older guys, and I'm not trying to be sexist or overgeneralize, but most of the places that I've been and I've seen janitors or now working as a janitor, most of us are guys, and we're all kind of like this weird, introverted, very quiet, just wanting to do our jobs and go back home kind of characters. Um, and this is important to know because it also reflects in our teaching styles. And I will say this: my boss is not the best teacher, and I would dare to say that most janitors are not good teachers. But this is kind of how it went. So my first day, guys, my boss had me. He was pretty much like what most jobs do. They walk you around the facility. They're like, all right, this is where this is, and this is where this is. Um, Now there's a problem. This is how my boss went through it. So we're walking around the parish house. It's not the church. It's not the meeting house. It's just the parish house, and literally we're going to really common things. Like, so we walk in. It's like, all right, this is the main administrator's office. Walks down 2 feet. This is the classroom because we have a preschool there as well. All right, these are stairs. In my head, I'm like, okay, thank you for this very general tour of things. I would, and just like continues to do that throughout the entire building until we get to the men's and ladies' restroom. Now, let me just say, a AA group that I will not say, and all names and of people and stuff is going to be changed for these stories, guys. So don't worry about that. But there was an AA group that had just left, and just no prep time, no conversation. It was just like he was like, all right, go clean this bathroom. All right, learning by doing, right? You're like, all right, cool. Let's immersify myself in that. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna get on into it. That's how I'm gonna learn. Um, so I go back. He was like, go grab a mop bucket. You're gonna mop down this bathroom, right? Cool. I run out. I grab the mop bucket and I come back. First thing, even before I round the corner, because like the where we had to fill up the mop buckets, there we go, was a little bit like in the cut of the building. But when I come back around the corner, he's already shaking his head. He's like, "No, no. Do you know what you did wrong?" And I'm just saying like, no. I just It's the wrong mop bucket. Like, and he just goes, "You didn't put bleach in this shit." What? Now, for those of you who do not know, bleach is a colorless liquid that, if you're not careful, looks a hell of a lot like water. Only difference is water probably bubbles a little bit more when you pour it than bleach does. Now I'm sitting here, I'm like, how the fuck did he know I didn't pour bleach in this water? And two, if you're training someone to take this job, wouldn't you go, hey, this is how we fill up mop buckets here? Because maybe there's chemicals that I use at home that I can't use in this building because someone has an allergic reaction. Like, a common one is latex gloves, if I gotta be honest with you guys. Like, people were like, oh, I can't touch balloons or wear latex gloves because of allergic reaction. Same thing. What if someone was allergic to bleach and I just poured a shit ton of bleach in that mop bucket and went to slopping the mop around? So that's something you should teach someone, right? You should let them know, here are the procedures. This is what we use to clean the building. Never happened. So I go, all right, cool. I run back, put some bleach in that mop bucket, and I come back. And if you're in your 20s or 30s, I think this will make the most sense to y'all. But you know that thing when you wanted to go out and just hang out with your friends as a little kid, and your parents would be like, all right, but you got to do your chores first. And let's say, you're waking up kind of slow and you're just kind of it's a weekend, you're just kind of lounging around and you go downstairs and all of a sudden your parents are freaking out. They're like, you know what, I got to do everything around here. And they're just fucking mopping the walls and vacuuming the ceilings and shit. You're like, oh, well, if you gave me 5 minutes, I could have come down, I could have helped, I could have done it. But you literally, they go through this little freak out rant where they're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna clean everything myself. You can't tell me shit. That's what my boss did. He was like, no, you know what? You can't do this right. So somehow he materialized an entire another mop bucket and mop. I was like, wait, but I thought this was the only one. I was like, no, I got it. And he had already cleaned not only the ladies' room, but also the men's bathroom. By the time it took me, which is about a minute and a half, if I'm being very, very leisurely about this, he managed to clean both those things out of anger. Okay. Now, let me tell you something about staring, people. Staring is creepy as hell. It just, it's this whole thing. And my boss, for the rest of the time, because I was there for 4 hours, it was a 4-hour training. He, for the entire rest of the night, I didn't do anything. I didn't say a goddamn word. I followed him throughout the building while he was cleaning, as he's just mopping away and fucking wiping shit down, and he's just glaring me in my face the entire time. It's like, imagine him mopping, he's like, or he's just like, the entire time. And he keeps making these comments every once in a while, like, I don't know if this job's right for you. This job isn't right for everyone. I took it a little bit personally. I was like, yo, don't be an ass to me because you didn't explain it. I might not be the best janitor right now, but doesn't mean I can't be the best janitor. And the entire night went that. For 4 hours, guys, I was dead silent. Didn't say a word. And I just kind of stood there, and all these, because we went through the entire building. He cleaned the entire building. And I was just there silent, and he just kept glaring at me until the end of the night. I'm like, you know what? I clearly made a really bad impression. This is shit. I mean, I'm clearly not going to get this job, right? So, I don't even, try to save myself. I'm just kind of already depressed. I'm already defeated. And we're walking back to drop off all the equipment, and we're walking by the bathrooms. And if you know anything about bathrooms, you put trash cans in bathrooms because you don't want to wipe your hands and have to hold onto that disgusting ass paper now. So there was a trash bag sitting on the floor. As we're walking back, I'm just like, fuck it, just reach down and pick it up, and I keep walking. And my boss goes, ah! What's up? What happened? What's wrong? He goes, that's what I wanted to see. And I'm confused. I'm like, he just was waiting for a moment to be like, you did something so bad, you're now fired? Nah. What he wanted, in his own words, like, I wanted to see if you're going to be the type of man who would, take initiative and just go out and clean if you had to clean. And we're walking back, and I left that garbage bag there to show you. And I wanted to see if you were going to pick it up when we walked by it. Now, I was always raised, not raised this way, but in school, you hear about janitors, you're like, that's not an astronaut, that's not a doctor, that's not a lawyer. Like, it's when people are like, I'm gonna be a manager at McDonald's and then janitor, right? Like, people often talk about those as undesirable jobs. And one of the things I hope to to actually do through this, like telling these stories and kind of goofing around, is to actually bring up those as where like the service industry jobs are actually very important, guys. And I don't mean to say actually, that's fucked up, but it's they hold so much meaning and they are so woven into everyday life that if we just dipped, you're like no more janitors, no more waitresses, no more bartenders, like y'all would be pissed. Your Friday nights would be shitty and everything would be dirty. Like you would not be happy. And I want to use this series to kind of explain that, to show off that this is also funny, but it's also like this is things that if you are I want to say rite of passage, but that might be wrong. But it's like I want to be able to show off like this job, guys. It's not as bad as it seems. But yeah, guys. So he got just playing 20 questions with me, pretty much. Like I didn't know I had to take a goddamn test, right, to be a janitor, and I didn't understand it at the time. I thought it was very weird. I was like, I don't want to say put off by it, but I was like, I wanted to know why. I wanted to know why it was like necessary to put this little test, like this like test of faith, leap of faith bullshit for become a janitor. Um, and later on, I did actually figure it out because I've still been with the church for about 3 years now, guys. Back in 2015, and the cool thing that I've kind of learned since then is how awesome working at a church can be. Uh, and just kind of like some of the rewards you get out of it, and some of the really good habits you pull from it. Like I wasn't always the neatest person before, and the cool thing is, I got a little bit better at it now because I'm a janitor. Or like, it doesn't bother me as much. Like you would, I'd be the kid who'd leave the old cereal bowl and the spoon like with cereal and milk in it, like in the bottom of the sink. Now it's like I do that, but at least I put water in it, so it's like at least I'm doing something. It's a mild improvement, right? Like I was here, now I'm here. Um, but the really cool thing about that, guys, is just like if you're an introvert like me, if you like staying up late at night like me, or if anything, you like working with music, and just jamming out, like listen to actually like music and shit. Just being a janitor is actually pretty awesome, because you work late nights. If you're a night owl, you already want to be up. Um, no one's fucking around you because you're usually by yourself, or if it's a large building, you might be on like a crew. But you're like you have your area, so you once you're done, you're done. Um, and it's one of the most relaxing jobs I've ever worked, and you can take that to the bank, um, because everyone's like, "Oh, wait, you're mopping, you're doing all this physical labor." You don't understand. I tried working at Target. Fuck that. I tried work. I mean, I had friends who worked at Walmart. Fuck that. Like your job, you never knew if someone was just gonna go, "Yeah, I don't like you, you're fired," or if there was any type of prejudice in the workplace, or straight up be like, "Yo, layoffs," but I'm a manager, but you're laid off. And that's so stressful that like even if it is like cashier work or something, I don't want to say easier, but something where it's like perceived easier, less physical labor than being a janitor. The cool thing is, I know I have job security at the end of the day because people don't like dirty shit. And two, guys, the only way I can actually lose this job is if I don't clean. So if you're someone who can be responsible, who finish tasks, who likes working independently, who can manage their time well, you can be a janitor and you can actually make a decent amount of money because I make like $20 an hour being a freaking janitor, and I work like 3 nights a week. I can work more if I want to, but it's like I also like doing video stuff, and I'm working on this series, so now it's gonna even take more of my time editing and shit. But the cool thing is, for me, I can just chill, and I also get all these amazing stories in the meantime. And I have a whole list, guys, on my phone of stories that I want to throw into this whole series. And the cool thing is, this one is incredibly tame. There are ones that are going to get even worse. And I'm actually, there's a couple that I want to double check with people if like it's going too far. So I got a couple friends that I'm going to be bouncing these ideas off of. But I definitely want to hear from y'all. Like, if you have any stories, like comment them down below, or hit me up on an email at the SackUpPanda Gmail, at SackUpPanda@gmail.com, or on any of the social medias, guys. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, everything at SackUpPanda. I almost said Snack Up Panda because I think I'm hungry. Um, but yeah, no, this is gonna be a thing. This is gonna be a series. I'm really pumped to do it. This episode a little bit long because there's a lot of explanation as to why and what I'm doing this for. But it's mainly to have fun, to try out a different style of video, but also bring to light being a janitor and having fun and like service industry shit, guys. Like, let's be honest. We all have stories from working a really shitty job, and just because it's a shitty job doesn't mean that it has to be our only job, and doesn't mean we can't do other shit. Um, and we can't have fun doing it, which is what I really want to do. I want to have freaking fun. But this mini boy Sacker Panda, I'm just chilling today. Give me a like, or I don't know, a comment. That might be the wrong direction. Down below if you were fucking with this series, if you're going to be waiting for the next episode. I don't even know what the next one's going to be, but if you follow me on Twitter, once again, I will be putting in the next topic, or at least the title of the next video. You won't know what the story is yet on Twitter. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and enjoy a delicious cup of coffee.